Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-479-3522. That's 800-479-3522. 800-479-3522.
Welcome to the Turnpike Sports Spotlight. Dave Weishuttle with you. I always love it when this next guest comes on because she is responsible for not only what is my favorite poker room, but in my opinion, the best poker room in the country. Of course, I'm talking about the Borgata in Atlantic City. And in January, they're having one of the big events in the poker world, which is the Borgata Winter Poker Open. We're going to hear all about it because on the line we have Borgata's Director of Poker Operations, Kellie de Celis. Kellie, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I got to tell you, in my other job as a gaming attorney, I get to travel around to the different properties, and whenever they hear I'm from New Jersey, especially if I'm talking to a poker player, they all smile and say, oh, you must go to the Borgata. I mean, it's interesting that when people hear the words poker in New Jersey, they automatically think of Borgata. It's such a testament about how great the poker room is and how great your staff is. But for people who haven't visited Borgata yet and haven't had that experience, tell us about the poker room on a regular day. I mean, what kind of games do you spread on your typical average day?
Absolutely. So, of course, weekends always look different than weekdays,
Yep.
but every day of the week, we're happy to offer our high hand promotions. We do some of the best in the area. We have $250 every 15 minutes. We have a high hand happy hour from 5 to 8 p.m. every day, $500 every 15 minutes, and then our weekends are $500 and $1,000 high hands. So that really brings in our no-limit Hold'em players and our limit Hold'em players. We have a really cool limit game called 2, 4, 6, 12. It's not offered really anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's a $2 big blind and $4 on the flop and $6 on the turn, $12 on the river, $20 qualifier. So it's a really fun game, and I think that really brings in a lot of the Atlantic City locals just to give them some enjoyment. Plus our 2-5 games, we love those. I really love that Borgata is known for having some of the deepest and juiciest 2-5 games in the area, and so every day of the week you can catch a 1-3, a 2-5, some PLO, 2-2 or 5-5. On the weekends, of course, we love our 81-60 players. We love our 40-80 players. We'll do big no-limit games like 10-25. Sometimes they'll run a 50-50 PLO, depending on who's staying for the weekend. And so I think there's just a whole range of stud and Omaha and Hold'em at Borgata that players can definitely get into a game no matter what day of the week they come.
By the way, everyone out there who haven't visited Borgata, now's the perfect time to do it. I mean, during the holidays, there's always something special going on in the casino. I just saw your television commercial this morning for Winning Wonderland, and that goes on till December 30th.
$777,000. That's right.
Unbelievable. Wait, I see that in the morning. I was like, what a way to wake up. And plus, let me tell you something. The Borgata is a beautiful property when it's not decorated for the holidays. But right now, it's absolutely beautiful for the decorations. It's really a special time to go visit Borgata.
Thank you. I love it as well. I think it's beautiful, and they've just completely renovated the MGM Tower. The rooms and the suites there are just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you've seen any of the footage from it.
Sure.
But they've done a really beautiful job there, and absolutely the Christmas decorations and the holiday decorations, they go all out. The wreaths are massive. The trees there are everywhere, lots of lighting. So it definitely, if you're not in the Christmas spirit when you arrive, you certainly will be. And that spirit once you're there for a couple of minutes.
Well, speaking of special time at Borgata, in January, like I said, you're having the Borgata Winter Poker Open, and we're going to talk about some of the specific events and tournaments that you're holding during the month. But I just want to get these numbers right. You're having 22 main events with 10 million guarantees. I mean, those numbers are mind-boggling, and it tells me two things. Number one, Borgata is going to be the center of the poker universe in January. And number two, you're not getting a day off in January. So are both those things basically correct?
Both of those things are absolutely true, sir. Absolutely true. Yeah, we went with 22. We're really excited about it. It was the perfect number. Just a total sidebar side note. I actually have an angel number. It floats around with me in life, and that number is 100% 22.
Wow.
So when we worked out the schedule and it came out to that, I said, this is perfect. It's exactly perfect. We don't need a single additional main event. This is exactly where we should be. And we worked out the guarantees so that we had that nice, even, perfect $10 million guarantee number. So really, really excited. This is one of the largest cumulative guarantees that we've ever offered at Borgata, and we really hope that the players love the schedule and love the events.
I was saying to you off air, I was like, oh, it's so much poker. It's amazing that you can get it all in. But tell us about the overall structure of the Borgata Winter Poker Open.
Absolutely. So it is 24 days. It's January 2nd through the 26th there are a couple of qualifiers on the 1st. We always do that running into the event. But the event is structured and laid out to have 4 main anchor events. So in week 1, that main anchor event is a kickoff, of course. That's what everyone has come to love about the Winter Poker Opens or all poker opens, is that we always start with that kickoff event. This year it's an $800 buy-in, and it does have a $2 million guarantee. Then the second week, that anchor event is an almighty million. But instead of doing an $800 buy-in, we've lowered that to a $500 buy-in. So we're running an almighty with a $1 million guarantee and a $500 buy-in in week 2. So we should be really busy there. In week 3, our anchor event is our mystery bounty. And really excited about this one. We've increased the flights for this event. Same buy-in, same price point, $2,200 as we had in January 2023 for the return. But instead of a $250,000 grand mystery prize, we're going to do a $500,000. So we've called it and branded it the $500,000 mystery bounty. Mm-hmm. So that anchors week 3. And then, of course, week 4, our anchor event could be none other than our BWPO championship. It's a $3 million guarantee, $5,300 buy-in. So all 4 anchor events, really excited about those. And then we've sprinkled in, of course, that doesn't add up to 10 million, right?
Sure,
you have
sure.
2, 1, 2, 3. But we've taken that extra $2 million and we've thrown it on all of the events throughout the entire schedule. So we'll see the return of Saturday series. We'll see Deeper Deepest series. We'll see a mini mystery bounty for the final event with a $500K guarantee, and some other high-level, high buy-in events for our championship players when they come in for those final weeks.
Well, let me ask you about a couple of those. I mean, appropriately enough, you're starting off with the kickoff event. When is that, and how do people register for that right now?
Absolutely. Registration is open right now on our BetMGM Poker partner. If you have the BetMGM Poker app, you would go in, make your deposit of your financials, however that happens for you, and then you would register into the on-site tournament just like you were registering for an online tournament. You'll locate it in the tournament tab. Once you click register, you're in. Your chips absolutely are saved until you check in. Once you check in with us and check in at the table, then your stacks would go out. So it gives players the opportunity to register online and come in at any point over the course of the day, not worrying about being blinded out. There are some other main events that are also available on BetMGM Poker outside of the 4 main anchors. It's touch and go, so you can just pop on to see what is available instead of us listing them all off, running through the numbers.
In week 2, you mentioned Almighty Million, and I just love that tournament because it's one of those events that has an incredibly reasonable buy-in, but the prize pool is amazing. Remind everyone about the Almighty Million because I think it is just such a great event all throughout the year.
Thank you. Yeah, we did one in May. That was so much fun. It was a standalone, all by its lonesome. Yep. It had an $800 buy-in, and we ended up with 2,700 players over 4 flights. So it was the largest prize pool in Almighty Million history, super exciting, and that was the standalone. So we definitely see this event at 500 with 5 flights, probably coming close to 5,000 players. That's kind of our guesstimate. We'll do our best to squeeze that many in for sure. Hopefully they don't all come in on day 1D or E, right? But that's usually how it happens. But Almighty's always been a great brand at Borgata. Our former TD Tab de Tato, he created it. The Almighty refers to the starting stack. So it is 100,000 starting stack, which just allows players a lot of action, a lot of play. And when we get really deep in the event, the chip stacks are just so big. It's so cool to watch these huge, massive pots, hand after hand after hand. It just makes it really exciting.
You know, one of the great things about Borgata, and especially Borgata tournaments, is that they're really accessible to poker players of all level. I mean, you have buy-in ranges from all up and down the scale. It's great. Was that your intention to make the Borgata Winter Poker Open accessible for as many poker players out there of all levels?
I think that's always our intention, right? And especially, I think we've done a really great job with collaborating with BetMGM Poker Online, because online gaming gives us an opportunity to offer satellites and qualifiers to players. I mean, I think our 5,300 championship event, I think you can qualify for that event by starting in a tournament online for as little as $2. Like,
that's amazing.
Just crazy to me. Yeah. I can't imagine how many tournaments you have to win to get there. That's neither here nor there, right?
Yeah.
But $2, I mean, there's no way. But definitely we wanted to make price points for all of the events. And when we looked at the schedule, we said, you know, of course we want to provide these larger buy-in events because those are always going to be the exciting big prize pools, big buy-ins, big titles, and then it gives additional points for the GPI and Hendon Mob Index for our players. But while those events are going on, we don't want just the $2,200 players in the building or just the $5,300 players. And so we looked at the schedule and we said, what can we do here? So during the $2,200 mystery bounty, of course, we put our Deepest series in, where the buy-in start as low as $400 for those. For the mini mystery bounty that runs concurrently with our championship, the buy-in for that is $560. And then, of course, almost every event, I mean, even our single day events, for the Saturday series or the monster stack or the big chip bounty, where it's a $500 bounty, it's $500 buy-in, so you're looking at $1,000 price point for that tournament, even though it's a $500 bounty inclusive. We wanted to run multiple qualifiers so that players can easily get into these events. We have some that are $150. We have some that are $220. We've got a lot of weekend warrior events going on where they can drive in on Thursday night. They can play in the qualifier that night and then win seats to the weekend events, which is a cool concept that we really love. We had a lot of success with that. So definitely want everyone to feel included in this schedule, because I know when we announced the return in 2023, we had a limited amount of time and a limited amount of space. And I think our lowest buy-in in that 7-day period was $1,100. And even though we ran the Christmas qualifiers the week before, it isolated a lot of players into feeling like, oh, we weren't thinking of them or we didn't care about them anymore. And so when we generated this schedule this year, we definitely wanted to make sure that everyone felt included and was able to look at the schedule and say, can't wait.
You know, you mentioned it before, but I got to tell you, I love what you did with week 3 for the Borgata Winter Poker Open. It's a bunch of events that you're calling Mystery and Mix Week. And you mentioned the $500,000 mystery bounty. Boy, that's tough to say. I'm dying to hear about that.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, I know. Tell us more about that, because I saw that in the schedule. Oh, my God. I am so intrigued by what they're doing on week 3.
Yeah. So the Mystery and Mix Week is a combination of both giving our No Limit Hold'em players an opportunity to play in a great event and possibly pull an envelope with a $500,000 mystery bounty in it, right? Excited about that. I can't wait to see that happen. But we also wanted to give our mix players an opportunity to play something as well. So we felt like this was kind of the perfect opportunity to throw in our mix events into this week. So we're going to run an Omaha High-Low, Big O High-Low mix. We're also going to bring back the hose event. And then we have our Pot Limit Omaha Championship that week, which is an $1,100 buy-in with a $100K guarantee. And those run concurrently in the afternoon to the mystery bounty. If players want to play in the $500,000 mystery, there's an A, a B, and a C on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So if they'd like to do both, they can bag on Sunday, and then they can play the Omaha High-Low Big O on Monday, the hose on Tuesday, and then they can still come in for day 2 on Wednesday at the $500,000 mystery and not skip a beat. So we're excited about being able to kind of jump back and forth in between the two of them. If a $2,200, $500,000 opportunity doesn't interest players, then we also have the Deep, Deeper, Deepest series running that week. So that's going to happen at night, which gives all of our hardworking poker players, the 9-to-5ers, an opportunity to get off of work and be able to come in and join that 6 p.m. event. They progressively get larger buy-ins, larger tip stacks, and larger guarantees going Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. So the culmination of the 3 events is $225,000 guaranteed. So really, really excited about those 3 events as well. So I think on top of our ladies championship following that weekend, we're going to have a really great week that 3rd week.
Now, one of the big events that you mentioned was the Borgata Winter Poker Open Championship event. And if people were blown away by the prize pool on some of the other tournaments, tell us about what they can expect from the championship event, because it's absolutely amazing. When is it, and what are people playing for when they're in that event?
Absolutely. So the best point of reference that I have is January 2023.
Okay.
We ran an identical event, 2 flights into that event, an A and a B. So the same type of structure, just very deep championship poker play that our players saw in January 2023, $5,300 buy-in, $3 million guarantee. Now, I can tell you that in January 2023, we ended up with $5.7 million in the prize pool when it was all said and done from the 2 flights. So we absolutely anticipate that mark or higher, hopefully. Our first place champion last year did take over $1 million home. So we definitively hope that we have a millionaire again for this year's championship. Our D1s are 60-minute levels, and then we're going to roll out into those really extended 90 minutes. It's 5 days of poker, and it ends in a live stream final table. In fact, all 4 of our anchor events will live stream their final tables this Borgata Winter Poker Open.
Now, those are only some of the 22 tournaments you're having in January for the Borgata Winter Poker Open. What are some of the other things that players can expect when they play in the Borgata Winter Poker Open during the month of January?
Absolutely. So just quick rundowns. Obviously, Borgata is all about the bounties. So we've done quite a few big bounty events. We start our first one in week 1 with a double black chip bounty. That was an extremely popular event in all of our Winter Poker Opens, like 1,000 players hopping into that one. We've put a $75K guarantee on that, obviously hoping to crush it. Rolling into the weekend of week 2 on Friday, we have the Borgata Big Chip Bounty. That is a $500 buy-in, $500 bounty. We hosted this as a standalone event, got 565 players for it the last time it was hosted. Really hope that the field is great for that one. The following weekend, right before the championship, that Saturday, we have taken that concept of the Borgata Big Chip Bounty and placed a monster stack of $60K on it. So that should be a very exciting another Saturday event. outside of our bounties, we also have the 1K knockout bounty after that championship wraps, because what's better than a pocket full of orange Borgata chips, right? Outside of that, of course, we've brought back our seniors championship, our ladies championship, and the charity series of poker with Matt Stout. They do a fantastic job, and they're raising for St. Jude this year, which is a great cause. Lots of poker pros come to play that event, and we always drop it the night before that championship so we can make sure everybody's in town to play it. BetMGM is hosting a really cool event called the King of Poker. This is a progressive bounty shootout. It's kind of a spin on our King of the Stacks event that we've done at Borgata. So you start with a little $20 bounty. It's just a $200 buy-in, right?
Wow.
You start with a $20 bounty on a single table shootout. You survive to top 2. You move to round 2, and we give you a $100 bounty. You survive to top 3, and you move to round 3, and we give you a $500 bounty.
Wow.
So it's a really cool concept.
What a great
and
concept.
Because BetMGM is so awesome, they're also adding a $5,300 Borgata Winter Poker Open seat to the winner of the King of Poker event. So really excited to see that one pop off.
How about the qualifiers for the Borgata Winter Poker Open? Live qualifiers? Will there be online qualifiers? How can players get a seat at the Winter Open?
Everything, all of the above. They are doing online qualifiers on BetMGM Poker as we speak. In person, we have 16 different qualifier events in person, seven of which will win you a seat into the championship. We've got 6 max qualifiers, 8 max qualifiers, and like I said, mentioned earlier, we have the double plays and triple plays where certain qualifiers that you pop into, when you win those, you'll get not only 1 seat to one event, you'll win 2 or some events 3 seats. And of course, we're kicking off with the Borgata Big Four. It's kind of a staple qualifier. It is January 1st at 4 p.m. So New Year's Day, once you're done with the fam, definitely come on in. It's a $920 buy-in total, which is kind of a weird amount. But we didn't want to do a huge big just because it was $880 to get in. But it does give you an $8,800 package. And what that includes is that includes a seat to all Borgata Big Four anchor events. So that's going to get you into the kickoff, the almighty, the mystery bounty, and the championship. So it definitely gives you a reason to stay the month with us at Borgata.
Now, you mentioned it, and one of the big stories coming out of the Borgata Winter Open is, for me anyway, is that you're going to stream some of these events. I mean, is this something new for the Borgata Poker Room, and what led you to decide you wanted to stream some of these events?
Yeah, so we've always streamed our championship events, and we've tried to do others, but it's really been a focus on a championship event, mainly because the production has to be set up in the whole stage, and then we lose table space. And so this year, we wanted to think outside of the box, and that led us to thinking outside of the current tournament space that we had. And Borgata is known for its beautiful convention space. I mean, they have some of the most gorgeous meeting rooms and event centers and ballrooms, I think, in the country. It's all state of the art. And so we found this perfect space where we are creating a live stream experience. And we always go with Guerrilla Gaming. They've been our partners for a very long time for live streams. They create a great product. They're a great group of guys. They're from the East Coast, just all around really great. And they are going to move in with us, and they're going to stay all 24 days because we wanted to stream all 4 of the anchor events, which means we're 4 weeks through. And so we said, well, that's awesome. That's great. Now we have that space. What else can we do besides live streaming the final tables? And in New Jersey, you can't film a cash game. I can't go into my poker room and live stream a cash game. It doesn't exist and it doesn't work. But what we do have the capacity to do is we have the capacity to live stream tournament type games. And so we sat down and we brainstormed and we hashed it out, and we came up with this concept and this idea of the live stream events. And so each week, coinciding with whatever the anchor event is or whatever the tournament event that's going on is, we are going to couple that with a live stream experience of a cash game, and it's dollar for dollar. So the first week, because it's a kickoff, it's an $800 buy-in. We're going to highlight our 2-5 no limit games at Borgata, and we're going to give our players an opportunity to become part of history, to become part of that first ever live stream event of a 2-5 no limit. And we're going to do that by drawing lucky seats every hour. If you're playing 2-5 at Borgata on Wednesday night or Thursday night, that's January 3rd or January 4th. If you want to participate, we're going to lucky seat just at our 2-5 no limit games. If your name is pulled, you have an opportunity to purchase your seat into that live stream game. It'll be a $1,000 buy-in, $1,000 re-entries below the half stack mark. We'll do 8 players and 4 alternates there, and each of the 12 selections will also get a +2 guest list. So that'll be some VIP. Nice. We have a great viewing room with open bar and food service, and other guests can come too. They just won't be such VIPs, right? Yeah. And then the second week, we are streaming the almighty final table, absolutely. But that's also the weekend that we have our ladies championship. So I thought that it would be a great opportunity to stream an all-female live stream game. Great. And I'm going to allow them to play 2-5 as well. But because I love having pink in all ladies events, I think it's a must. We're going to do a $2.50, $5, so the pink $2.50 chip. Oh, there you go. Will go out on that game. Yep. And it's going to be all-female cast, all-female commentators. Really excited about that. Week 3, we have the Mystery Bounty, which obviously will live stream that final table. But we also have our Pot Limit Omaha Championship event that week. Mm-hmm. So we're going to take that week, and we are going to stream our first Pot Limit Omaha. Wow. And we are going to select players for that live stream. We're going to give all of the players that buy into the PLO Championship an opportunity to be part of this live stream by depositing their tournament receipt into a bin, and then we'll draw those winners that first night of the PLO Championship. So really excited about that. And then, of course, week 4 championship all the way. So we'll stream that. We have 3 live streams that week. We'll live stream our championship table on Friday, the 26th. Then the Thursday right before, we're going to live stream a big buy-in high roller cash game that is invitation only. But if any big players out there are interested in playing, you are more than welcome to DM or email me or at me on X. But we also have something really cool and exciting the day before that, which is going to be our first time partnering with BetMGM Poker to take their championship event, because they too are offering a Winter Poker Open online. They're going to have a $100,000 online championship, and that is going to start in person, and it's going to start online and finish in person. So we're going to live stream that final table in person for those that $100,000 championship event through BetMGM Poker. So that is the full schedule, all 9 live streams. It's a really, really huge endeavor. I can't even begin to tell you how much preparation it's taken.
Well, I got to ask you.
I'm really excited.
I got to ask you, beyond the Winter Open, do you have plans on streaming any other events, or will that be a regular occurrence, or any other events going on in the poker room that you're going to stream? Because I got to tell you, I'm a poker geek, and I would love to watch Borgata all day long on streams.
Yeah, and we love this space. It's the first time we're using this space. So if this space is as successful as we hope it is, we will absolutely see live streams happening for each open or each large tournament that we have moving forward. I mean, you and I both know that in our digital world, content is king. So the more content that we have, the more we're able to utilize and show people outside of Jersey, outside of even the U.S. It goes around the world, right? Exactly what we offer here at Borgata. I love watching poker. People tell me all the time, like, oh, how can you do this all the time? But I'll work all day. I'll come home, and what's on my TV? It's the WSOP final table, or it's the WPT most recent, coming out. I just, people who love poker love everything about it. And that includes our player base and you as well, right? Because it's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of. And I think live streaming is a fantastic product.
I got to tell you, the other day I was on the air and I was actually talking about the Borgata and streaming, and it had nothing to do with poker. BorgataCasino.com now streams a roulette table on their gaming floor so people at home can play at the same table that the people at the actual casino are playing on. And to show you now how boring my life is, I am now determined the next time I visit Borgata to find out where that roulette table is, because I have no clue where it's at. So I'm definitely attending the Borgata Winter Poker Open, but if I wander off somewhere, that's probably where I'm going to be, looking for that roulette table. So
that's awesome.
I love the streaming of what Borgata does.
It is very cool. The gaming experience has been elevated 100 times for every player involved, and it's just become such a cool thing. The casino floor is completely changed from what we remember 20 years ago, right? It's so digital, so interactive. It's all very cool.
Well, speaking of attending the Borgata Winter Poker Open, Borgata, in a partnership with BetMGM Poker NJ, are offering weekly Borgata Winter Poker Open packages. What's included in those packages, and how can people take advantage of them?
Yes, the seat, of course, the hotel stay, absolutely, and you can take advantage of it by popping into a tournament online and winning.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think they're doing such a great job. That team over there is just phenomenal in how they design things and the things that they come up with and the ways that they decide to give away items. And their swag is some of the coolest things I've ever seen, right? Yeah. Everyone wants a BetMGM hoodie and BetMGM poker hats. And I love that we're partnered with them, and I love the things that they do to offer our player base an opportunity to come and really stay in VIP style. And of course, we'll do their VIP check-in for them. No wait. Come right on into the convention space at the top area. Don't worry about that cashier line at all.
There you go.
So it's been very advantageous for our players, I think.
The Borgata Winter Poker Open is amazing. It's going to be amazing. But what can poker players look forward to at the Borgata in the coming months beyond the Borgata Winter Poker Open?
So I think that as we look into 2024, we loved everything that kind of fell into place in 2023 outside of having to postpone the fall mini-series. In May, we did the Almighty Million, so I think that we'll see an expanded event in May. I would love to see Borgata bring back 3 opens each year, and that's really going to be dependent upon how successful and how manageable the Winter Poker Open is when it drops and rolls out. If we see huge successes there, I see no reason why we won't see a repeat of at least an 18-day event in May, and then an additional 24-day event in September, like Borgata Poker Open used to fall there, as we slowly grow back into what players are used to. Outside of that, our goal is to offer players something every single month, some type of tournament event. In February, following our sister property, National Harbor, will be offering Winter Poker Open of their own in February.
Oh, okay.
Once that wraps up, a really cool schedule as well. We'll do qualifiers, sending our Borgata players over there, as we always do for our sister properties. But they have a $3,000 main. Once that wraps up that last week in February, I'm trying to plan something that I'm branding the February 5-0, O-H exclamation point. So it'll be 5 flights, $500 buy-in and a $500,000 guarantee.
Wow.
And that'll run that last week in February. In March, we'll see March Monster Stack come back, probably right around March Madness. And then, of course, we'll have our great high hand promotions. Last year, we did March Grand Mania, where we had $1,000 high hands all day. So very excited about that. And then, of course, we're starting off New Year's in 2024 with our New Year with a Bang bonus, which is an additional up to $250,000 added to our Bad Beat jackpot, so that the first table to hit the Bad Beat jackpot in 2024 could win $300,000. We're really excited about that. And summer's pretty slow for us here because, of course, all of our players head out to Las Vegas, and it's very understandable. They're going to play in that ARIA championship out there, which we love. Bellagio does a championship. And so we keep our events a little bit smaller, but of course we're going to see the seniors event come back as a standalone over the summer, and we'll try to do some super stacks for the summer and maybe a summer mini series for those players that are staying local with us. So that's really what our year in a nutshell looks like. But again, it's all based on whether or not I live through January.
Yeah, right. Well, what are the dates for the Borgata Winter Poker Open, so you remind everyone? And when can people start signing up to play in the tournaments?
Absolutely. The dates for the Borgata Winter Poker Open are January 2nd to January 26th. And don't forget those 2 standalone qualifiers that are going to jump off on January 1st, even though they're not included in those dates. Players can sign up right now on the BetMGM Poker app for multiple main events. Definitely check that out. Players can sign up for any main event starting January 1st. That's Monday, January 1st. All 22 events will be open for reg as of that day. The secondaries, they all open up on the day of, that morning of at 9 a.m. You can register for any secondary. So I think that hopefully players can locate either a qualifier or a bullet and come on down to Borgata.
Kellie, we're running out of time, but can you give out a website so people can find out more about Borgata and the Borgata Winter Poker Open? And if you want to give out your Twitter address or whatever they call it, X, I guess they call it.
It'll always be Twitter to me.
Twitter,
It'll always, because I don't know what I'm doing.
I know.
I don't know what I'm doing if I'm not tweeting. What am I doing? Am I Xing?
By the way, you have the best Twitter handle of all time for a poker. So why don't you give out the all the websites and your Twitter handle, and so people can get in touch with you.
Sure. We are at theborgata.com. You can find us there. All the structures are live and posted, as well as a full copy that'll tell you, just as a quick run review of buy-ins, levels of entry, starting tip stacks, how long the levels are, all of that good stuff. Plus all the PDFs are available there as well of the structures. My Twitter is at PokerBabeBoss, at PokerBabeBoss, or at Borgata Poker. You can follow along on X with us in both of those locations. Outside of that, I try to keep our Bravo Live Poker app up to date. Usually that's probably the first place information we'll get to once approvals come out for anything, and where you'd be able to locate all of changes. And then we also broadcast all of those tournament clocks to our Bravo Live app. So once those events do begin, if you're wondering how many players are in or what the wait time looks like, definitely check us out on Bravo Poker Live.
Kellie de Celis, Borgata's Director of Poker Operations, thanks so much for coming on and telling us all about the Borgata and the Borgata Winter Poker Open. Borgata is an amazing poker room at an incredible casino, and it's always a great time having you on, and it's always a great time visiting the property. So please come back on and keep us updated about what's happening at Borgata. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Take care.
Bye-bye. That'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.